3 to police are requesting an ambulance to detail man screaming for one. Inside the Irish Social Club at number 19 Park Street, West Roxbury.
Surprise. A little early, I know, but I had to adjust my timer last minute. And, well, yeah, that was a bit annoying, so I thought, I'm not going to make you wait longer. As it turns out, the site where my timer comes from, which isn't, I wish there was a way of doing it, but hey. It's currently a web source, so they changed the site, so it stopped working. Very helpful. Very helpful indeed. Oh well. It is what it is, these things happen, and, thankfully I was able to sort it out pretty quickly, so we're fine for next time. And, well, hey. Scuff is expected from the lobby sometimes. It's promised, and I am an angel of my word. At least I try to be. But, enough about Scuff. My dear sinners, my dear chat, how are you all doing this fine evening? You may have noticed, by the way, that I have given up on using Kick as one of my options. Simply put, it annoyed me. Listen, if people want me to use Kick, alright, I will need a dedicated mod just for Kick, because some people on there don't care what rules you write, they just try and sell you shit. And I'm not interested in that. So, yeah, no, not interested. I will focus on my main sites instead. Far more useful for my time, and also, frankly, it's where I'm actually investing myself in anyway, so, yeah. Now, you might remember, I have finally gotten round to doing a video. I don't expect any consistency to start, I'll be honest. No, we're gonna be, how shall we say, a little, that's what I'm looking for. It's gonna be a while for the next one, probably. But it'll be about Golg, don't you worry, I'll be going over him. I will definitely as well be taking a few notes. I pointed myself out as well. Mainly the fact that, how shall we say, there were little aspects of that video that I think could have been better. In my opinion, I could have done it better. So, I will try and do it better. Simply put. It's little things, right? It's stuff like, I think I had myself front and center too much. You might think, well, Cobral, you are the content creator. That is true. However, I was doing a lot of tell and not a lot of show. And in retrospect, I think I need to get used to the idea of the model being like a person being there. If that makes sense. So, like how you see a lot of YouTubers, they will cut away and show whatever they want to show. I think I need to do more of that. Let my VTuber model be more my representative properly, rather than just always there. Besides, if you want that all the time, when I'm live, it's always there anyway, so... But this is the difference, I guess, between the live streaming way of doing things and the video making way of doing things, right? They're very different. And, honestly, it's not always easy to sort of figure out how you want to do both. But it is a challenge that I accept I'm going to need to faff around with a little bit. But it's okay. I'll figure it out. I managed to figure out these things eventually. I may not always be the quickest at doing so, but I'd like to say I figure it out eventually. Now, I believe I mentioned changes, and I may have to reiterate this throughout the stream, so don't worry if you missed this part. But some changes are coming. Obviously, this weekend, we're dabbling in Shogun 2, and I know a few of you have requested this for some time. So naturally, I will be playing Shogun 2. Now, next week's going to be a weird one. I'm going to be doing two sort of big events, I guess. And depending on some of the things, there may be something else. Or it might be the week after. We'll see, right? But some things that are coming up, and especially if you're new here, you may not be aware of those things, so allow me to explain. The first is obviously Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out. And I love Monster Hunter. so we're going to be playing a bunch of Monster Hunter. Now I know it's a little different from the usual content, but that'll probably end up being my side game for a while, I would say. I do enjoy playing Space Marine 2 and will chop it in here and there because I think a little break every now and then is good. Just like I do with Vermintide 2 every so often. So if you've come here from Space Marine 2 content, don't worry, that's not going anywhere. I'll just be in and out here and there, like with Helldivers, although maybe more consistent. I don't know. I like Helldivers, and it's definitely been getting a lot of stuff recently, so... Hell, I think there's a new thing for the bugs, actually, so we may dabble in that too at some point. Especially with guests, or viewers, because yes, chat, I do like to play games with you guys too, so... keep an eye out for that kind of thing. Now, of course, the other big thing, and something that I have been very much looking forward to for a long time. You've probably sick to death of me rambling about it, but I'm going to be running some Dark Heresy 2nd Edition next Sunday. Next Sunday. So, that is going to be the start of a whole little series that I do bi-weekly. The Discord should have the dates when these things should happen, but obviously expect there to be times where it doesn't. Expect there to be times where there are complications with scheduling. These things will happen. I'm just preparing you now because it's going to happen. And I have to accept that myself as well. So, with that in mind, I'm going to try and do a consistent bi-weekly schedule, meaning every other Sunday. Starting from the 1st of March. I think it's the 1st. Yeah, no, 2nd, sorry, the 2nd of March. God, I got it wrong already. The 2nd of March. I have my players. I have most of my plans in order. Though the final bits of that will be done this weekend. Honestly, when it comes to Dark Heresy, there's going to be a lot of just me having to sort of fit things in. As far as planning, but I'll figure it out. If I need more time, I will let them know and let you guys know. There may come moments where I need more time. It'll happen. I know it'll happen, because I want to do this right. But hopefully this first arc will warm me back up into it. It's been an awfully long time since I've been a DM. And honestly, I've missed it in some regards. I've really missed it. So, I'm hoping it all goes well. But you know how it is, right? You get that lovely imposter syndrome kind of feeling. You get that kind of, worry about, is it going to work out? Is it going to be good? You don't know. All that shit in your head, right? You get that occasionally, especially when it's going to be live streamed. And this is the first time I'll be live streaming it. Now, a few things, obviously, when I do those kinds of streams, I'll probably turn off the sound alerts and that kind of thing. The reason being is I don't want random alerts in my ear while I'm trying to TM. I'm sure you can appreciate. But obviously, in the breaks or afterwards, I will turn it back on. So don't worry about that. I'm not getting rid of those permanently. Just when I do that kind of stream, they'll be off. But later on, or if I do have them on, I may have them muted in the background. Potentially. We'll see if I can find a good way of doing it. But, like I said, there's going to be some trial and error with that kind of thing. But, I'm looking forward to it, honestly. It's very different from Dungeons & Dragons, and I think, honestly, it'll be a good bit of inspiration for, be it content post-game, potentially. Maybe after an arc, I'll do a whole little, roundup sort of series. I'll do maybe one or two retellings, just going over the general synopsis, potentially. Bit in universe, perhaps, Maybe. We'll see. I've got to figure out how I want to do that, because I do want to do something like that. I enjoyed it. Hey, Judas, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you enjoyed little tease as well. I'll get to that tease in a second. I was just talking about my upcoming Dark Heresy game next week. Oof, that should be good. Now, you may have seen, you guys in the Discord, Stop teasing me. I'm going to keep teasing you. So much teasing is going to be very annoying. But don't worry. Listen, if it makes you feel any better, Judas, that outfit is, the art's done for it now. So I believe the next step is to make it move. Make it bounce. Yes. So, that will be very soon. And for those who haven't seen that, well, keep an eye on, it. Well, currently it's... Well, here's the thing. I don't actually know how it works with how Foxes is doing it, because here's the thing. If you were to look at it in early stages, right, a lot of me underneath the outfit is still there. It's just the outfit's kind of drawn on top of some of me. But there are some differences. The feathers on my head, obviously, they're different. The hip wings are much bigger and pronounced. My sort of energy wings are a bit more smaller and more part of the wing structure, if you like. So I don't know how much is already moving because it's already rigged, or if it's being rigged from scratch in a way because the art's been done on top of the other art. I'm not too familiar with how that works. So currently, no. But I know what Foxes is like, and if you see how this model's rigged now, it will be rigged in a similar way, I suspect, because Foxes is very good at rigging. So I know she was quite happy that both my eyes were visible. So, but I can gather how it'll be rigged. It'll be rigged very nicely, I should think. But again, I'm not sure if the already existing rigging will come across, or if it's going to be rigged differently. Well, yeah, like it's a new piece of art, but obviously it's done over the top. I'm probably really overcomplicating this. It's probably way simpler, but it just looks complicated. I am too little is visible. Indeed. Yes, and obviously my other one down the road will of course have both visible. By the way, if you like that outfit, please let me know, because, how shall we say, let's just say, if I go ahead and commission that other one to be done, I may invest in a second outfit, and that second outfit may take some cues from that one. Not the same, but similar. But obviously the vibe of that other one. So if you do like that look, let me know, please. Or if you don't want, let me know if you think they'd look good on that version of me. I intend to use both like two different bodies that I use interchangeably, I'll be honest. So if you like this version of me, it's not going anywhere, by the way. I just want to make it clear. I love this model. I intend to use both interchangeably. As I've always said, this angel body is very artificial. Do you think I can't just stick in one body? No. Just swap to another, and then back again as I wish, like a new coat. Indeed. But yes, the new fit is coming soon. So when that's ready, well, I'll of course do the usual, right? You'll get the outfit reveal event. I'll tart it myself off and show it all off. Don't you worry. You'll get an eyeful of it soon. Yes. No, I'm looking forward to it as well. I believe she's currently finishing the rigging on another angel, actually. Yes, a different angel is currently having his rig done at the moment. So I think mine might be next. So, we'll see. Unlike with this model, where I kind of went, oh shit, it's ready, and then sort of flung an event out of the blue, I'll make sure to have plenty of time, Wanna, give everyone a chance to hear about it first before I show it off. But I should think it'll be soon, all being well. Indeed. Now, obviously, there's some things will have to change as far as my scheduling with this new Dark Heresy campaign. It's going to be on Sundays, predominantly. I'm going to try and keep it at the same days and times, because it's easy for you guys. But they could move. But you know, I know what these things are like. There is no certainty in any of this. So there is going to be times where I have to fiddle and faff around to get a good time for everyone involved. In between my other content, my planning, all the other shit, I'm quite aware I've provided myself a fuck ton more work chat. I'm quite aware I'm gonna have to be careful I don't overdo it, because I know I can do that sometimes, so I'm gonna make sure it's a healthy amount of extra work, and not an unhealthy amount. It'll at least keep me motivated. And plus, on the day, I'll definitely do a lot of planning. Preemptively. Found a full image of your new model in SafeFloat Media. You did? I don't think I showed it off, unless did someone else do that? Oh. Ah. I was about to say, I don't think I've shown the full thing off yet. Well, that's certainly a look. Dude, beautiful. Indeed, indeed. Ah, just wait till you see the full thing. Nah. But yes, yes. No. Do you know what I find quite ironic, by the way? Both Foxes and why am I forgetting his name? The other artist that made my other model, or what other art, just say, he's not made the model yet. I haven't commissioned him for that yet. But both of them had a similar idea as far as the wings on the side of my head still coming out, like actual wings. I don't know. It's a weird thing they both did, and I think that's interesting that both of them thought, what this? I don't know. Maybe it's just me being overly interested in those little details, but I don't know. I just found it interesting. Personally, I did. I can't with the fucking GC in this. What's this? I can't with this fucking GC I'm in. They keep saying that my name. I want some ice cream. I'm gonna lose my shit. The picture you just sent in the cord makes me think the new model's going to for a chivalric look. Well, there's a little bit of armor on it. You know, I'm maybe leaning on the battle nun kind of look a little bit. You know, a little nod to that. There are some of the references are pieces of Sistra battle armor, actually. There are a couple of references to that. Because, well, I mean, sci-fi nuns, first thing I thought of was a Sistra battle. No, RP chivalric. Yes, there was. I did use a couple of little bits, not too much. Didn't want to go too far into it. But, you know, I do like their aesthetic, and, I mean, it would fit me, let's be honest. Bretonnia Cobra. I don't hate Bretonnia. God, were any of you here when I did the bean playthrough as Bretonnia, by the way? That was a thing I did for a bit. Battle Sister cool too. Indeed. Ah, you know, I missed a trick with that when I played as Bretonnia when I was the bean. I should have put a little helmet on the bean. Or have the bean in a helmet. That'd have been cute as fuck. Ah, oh well. If ever, well, we do plan on having the Cobral bean with 3.0, so don't worry. We'll make the Cobral bean. The boxes added back into which again. Oh yes, the in-game currency ones. Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, I remember now that it's funny. Overwatch kind of started a lot of that, didn't it? Back in the day. If anyone remembers Overwatch 1. Feels like a long time ago now, but I remember how that shit started. I always found the loot box situation kind of funny, because I know they had to change theirs massively. Theirs wasn't even the worst one. Battlefront 2 was the worst. Hope they all loot box skins added back into, because Hopefully they will. I mean, I think the thing is right, and someone said this to me, and it makes perfect sense. The competition for Marvel Rivals has meant that Overwatch has had to step its everything up in a major way. I hear that League got rid of their loot boxes, reason being they were making money from them. Honestly, I could see that, but also a lot of countries ban it. Loot boxes in games is actually illegal in multiple countries now. So I could see them probably looking to get rid of them because they're going to be having legal problems soon if they weren't careful. Because let's be honest, the last thing you want as a company is to have various places just ban you outright, especially League. It doesn't really make money off their skins because you can get them by playing games. I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Probably, if anything, I imagine it's probably simpler to just have the in-game only currency, I would wager. That's my reckoning anyway. I imagine it's just easier because you don't have to have all the money-based systems for it. Not that I imagine companies have a hard time monetizing something, let's be honest. So, but I imagine there's a thing you don't have to do anymore because of that too. There's definitely... Also just looks good, I guess, you know. If you turn around and say, hey, there's loot boxes, but only in-game currency, most people are fine with that. It means you can get cosmetics and shit for playing the game. Imagine that. Crazy concept, right? Playing the game? I would never play the game to earn stuff. Oh, we don't do that here. We don't do that in this house. But yes. Oh, balls, by the way, I don't know if you were here for it, but we actually won. Well, I managed to complete my challenge. A bit anticlimactically, I must admit, but I managed to win his Arbold. We got the long victory. Though I must admit, if I do another legendary playthrough, I shouldn't play as Chaos. It's way too easy. Because they're just so strong. Compared to every other faction in Melee. It's like, well, shit. It's been 22 days, 22 hours, and only 6 minutes and 42 seconds I bought my Mickey plushie on YouTube, and it still hasn't beaten Cent. Wait, what? How? Is it like a pre-order? It's just wacky, man. Oh, yes, we have. Which is why we're doing Shogun 2. No, it's been out. Oh. Right. That seems weird. I'd almost want to say at that point, I don't know if they have a custom support or something, just like, oh, hey, you gonna send it? You'd think they'd at least give you an email to say, hey, there's a bit of delay. I don't know the delay from Chinese New Year. Nothing was up from that. So taking a step away from the old world. Indeed, yes. Not a long one, though. I'm probably going to do a campaign of Shogun 2. Part of it is a bit of a gauge on how you guys feel about it, because obviously, you know, it's a 2-part, right? I want to make sure I'm enjoying it. I've played a bit of it, and I think it's pretty fun. It does mean I'll have to do a lot more manual battles, because Shogun 2's auto-resolve is nasty. Very nasty. But also I want to make sure that you guys enjoy it too. That's the big one for me, obviously. Because it's not quite as flashy as Warhammer, and obviously it's... The enemy units will be basically the same, ones that I can field. But the overall game will feel a lot different from Warhammer. It plays very different. Even the research tree is just... Like, you have to use the research tree to get units, which sounds wacky to say, but in Warhammer it's not even a thing. But in Shogun, big old thing. Big old thing. Excuse me. At least with Shogun 2, there are naval battles. That is true. Yeah, they have customer services, but it's like 4 to 5 business days to respond by email. Bloody hell. But yes, we will have naval battles. The naval battles were interesting, I must admit. I didn't get too far into it, mostly because I kept building Nanman trading ports, which, unless you're playing as a particular faction, don't give you a special kind of ship, but they do give you lots of money. Yeah, I think only the Atomo got the Nanman trade ship, which is a nasty ship. I killed the Atomo off in my private game long before they got a chance to spring up. Then you have to deal with the fact that everyone is religious Christian in that settlement. Oh, God. I had still so many revolts. Yeah, Judas, man, that's Mazzo's yikes. Also being the Horizon plushie, RuneScape figures. Huh? Let me reread that. Also bringing the Horizon plushies in the... Okay. My man, you're going to be surrounded by plushes. Feudal Japan about to get cyber. Exactly. I already have a thumbnail. I made a little thumbnail. So, we're all ready for it. We are. I'm not too rusty at the game. I've played a little bit. This is the response time because they're overworked right now. I mean, fair. But yes, we're going to be conquering parts of Japan. Indeed. I'm not sure which faction I want to play, I must admit. That is something I'm debating. So, that may take me some time, chat, before I have an idea of what I want. But hopefully we'll figure it out on the day. I've played the... I briefly tried the Chosakame, who are about bows, and the... Shoto, are they? No, I forgot what they're called now. I will not remember all the names, I'll be honest. Unlike with Warhammer, where I know the names, in Shogun 2 I will not know the names. You will see a Kobold who is a bit less familiar with things. Also, your new icon should be the image I posted in Safe Media. Don't tempt me, it'd be funny. At the very least, Judas, I'd be tempted to use like the face part as like the icon for it once I have it in my hands on YouTube Studio. No ads, curse you. My God, he had ads. Dear Lord. I must admit, I didn't quite spot. They jumped me before I could spot them, but they're almost ending. Don't worry. They're almost ending, I think. Now, I'm probably going to keep away from the clan that's all about monks. I think they can't have samurai or something like that. And it will just be a standard Shogun 2 campaign. It won't be Fall of the Samurai. Though, if you want Fall of the Samurai, we can do Fall of the Samurai. I don't even mind doing Rise of the Samurai, though I know literally nothing about it. So, I've never seen anyone play Rise of the Samurai. I've never played it myself either. I just know they're like even earlier in the timeline. Whereas Fall is obviously at the end of the Samurai age. And it's also one of the best of that time period Total Wars that you've actually got. It's kind of sad in the way that they kind of perfected the Napoleonic warfare, or pseudo-Napoleonic warfare, right as they never did it again. Like, seriously, Fall of the Samurai is one of the best standalones they've ever done for their games, and they've never made anything quite like it since. I mean, genuinely, it's a tragedy. I do think CA need to go back and... Like, it's that weird period, right, where... Because here's the weird part. When Shogun 2 is taking place, I think the Wild West is a thing? Using the clip feature to see what you said while at at my ears. Oh, buddy. I'm surprised you've got an ad, you're a VIP. Or does VIP still get ads? I don't know how it works. Yeah, no, it's a weird period, right, where, like, the old met the new. That's proper cutting in, that is. And there's something... I see. Fair enough. But I thought VIPs did of how much you didn't get them. Then again, they did literally just as of now make... what's it called? Uplay Origin no longer... Yes, the Uplay Origin no longer works, though I was able to reactivate it, so I don't know quite if it doesn't work, or if it's just like a weird unsupported state where they can't get any more stuff. Makes sense, those who give money can make up for the lack of that. Yeah, it's true. It's a weird one, right? Because like, the way being a sub... It's a weird one, right? Oh, yes, I did, actually. I didn't think... I completely forgot to... Yeah, for Team Fortress 2, yes, I did see that. I did... Honestly, on retrospect, I should have censored the server, because I know you'd have liked to see that. You probably already knew about it, too. That's probably what I was thinking. You'd be like, oh, he already knows that one. Definitely you would know that. If anyone would know about the Team Fortress 2... what do you call it? If memory serves, it's like they gave a bunch of files out to modders, so they've made it available now to be way more moddable, I believe, if memory serves. The dev kit, that's it, like the dev kit, basically. Like how Skyrim got it, and all the, like, you know, how like a lot of modders will mod a game, like when the devs actually support them in modding it, like they'll make a dev kit and stuff they can use, and give them access to way more of the code so they can actually like manipulate it more. Yeah, basically just dev kit, you can build games off. Yeah, exactly. Like, Source Filmmaker obviously has been a thing forever, and you can do shit with it, but now you can dig into the game's code more. Like how the Creation Kit. You probably heard the Skyrim Creation Kit? That's a big thing. I mean, yeah, it's smart. Like, genuinely. It's one of the... I mean, a good example. Sins of the Solar Empire 2. I think has the dev kit that's out there that you can mod, because Sins of the Solar Empire had like so many big mods because it's a big like space strategy game, right? You had Star Wars, Star Trek, Halo. There was a Halo mod. The Halo mod was fucking great. They also got messed up with it because they patched the hell out of the game for it. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of teething, isn't there? There's going to be some teething problems, unfortunately. But it is what it is, I suppose. Imagine if Creative Assembly released a dev kit. Tough, like it possible. They've released some modding tools, and to their credit, they've made some updates here and there to make modding it a bit easier, but I reckon they're not going to go that far, because, well, one, if the rumours are to be believed, and there are a few rumours, Total War 40k may be coming. Although, there are some pretty crazy mods out there. If you look in the Total War Reddit, there's the guys who are doing the Koresh project, where they're fleshing out the very limited lore on the Blood Nagas of Koresh, and they've actually made a mod, which looks cool as fuck, to add them into the game. I secretly really hope it's like... I don't know, either it's just them showing off something and it's a secret tease, but I doubt it, or maybe Games Workshop will actually make the Blood Nagas a thing, because they keep referencing them. They forget about the code a bit, but also broke some bugs people have been using for years with it. I mean, I bet it's not as spaghetti code as Yandere. Let's be honest, Yandere Simulator will always be the pinnacle of spaghetti. Don't get me wrong, chat, I've made some spaghetti code in my time. I remember my first proper script. Fuck me, that was a spaghetti. That was bad. God, I would cry a bit if I looked back at it now. I'm not saying I'm much better, but I at least know how not to make spaghetti. Love code anyway. January 7th in the trucks for 10 years. And it will be in for another 10, my friend. It will be in for 20 years. by the time that game releases, the next PewDiePie will be a thing. And that's how it'll become popular again. Or it'll just never get seen again because people stop talking about it. Because, honestly, I don't know. That game... It had every opportunity. Was it? Exactly. Exactly, right? You found it through Markiplier. You found it through... like... Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, all them guys. You know what's kind of weird, right? Looking at them guys now, because it's strange, right? In the way they haven't changed, but in the way they've changed a lot. It's really strange when you've watched these people for so long. Pewds is the one that, like, I don't know. It's a weird thing to watch them now. I still sometimes enjoy their stuff quite a bit, I'll be honest, but it's strange looking back then going, huh. Wow, time really has changed them. Not for the worse, though. I think for the better, but still. Plus, the game was a thing at its time. Oh, yeah, no, it won't fit in now. It's also banned on Twitch, by the way. That's a big problem for it. It's Yandere Simulator is literally banned on Twitch. You're not allowed to play Yandere Simulator on Twitch. PewDiePie that a lot also managed to start out. Indeed, he did. Oh yeah, it's literally banned on Twitch. Yeah, it's one of the. There's a very limited number of games that are named in Twitch's blacklist. Yandere Simulator is one of them. I shit you not. I shit you not. At least it was for a while, if it isn't still. Yeah, see, I've heard Pyrocynical say this, but I agree. Pewd's got the good ending. He got the big YouTuber, sorry, I got VTuber the fucking brain. Ah, the rot. He could probably be a VTuber if he wanted. He'd fucking be fine with it. But he's got the good YouTuber ending, right? As a content creator, he's been able to essentially pseudo-retire and come back whenever he wants. And he doesn't need to. He does it for the passion. He's kind of circled back to that passion again, which I think is a beautiful thing, personally. He's got everything he wants. He's got a family. He's got a successful business. And honestly, yeah, he got the good ending. Like, to have even a fraction of that kind of end to your career, you'd fucking kill for that. You'd kill for that. It's a beautiful thing. And, you know, as much as, like, I do miss seeing some of his stuff now and then, at the same time, when he does put a video out, you can tell he gives a shit. Oh no, it really wasn't. Hey, Ari Ross VT, welcome on in. Welcome into your first time here. Do get yourself nice and comfortable, and yes, indeed, his monthly stuff's honestly, it's weird, right? But you can tell he's fucking enjoying himself, and honestly, power to him. The man has earned the right to enjoy his life. Honestly, he's earned his right to have that good life. They're looking at his YouTube update a week ago, and it looks like he's doing good. Oh, exactly. Like, you look at him and you think, thank God he went down that route. The Kwebbelkop route is just, Chat, if I ever go down that Kwebbelkop route, shoot me. Gun to my head, pull the trigger, and keep going until there's nothing left. Like, holy shit. That is just, that's just hollow. Exactly. It's like, here's the thing. I've seen AI used in a good way. For example, Neuro. Neuro, in big part, is a very big experiment. And Veedle's done a lot of work to make it coherent. And watching that happen is a big part of his brand and content. He's almost essentially monetized developing an AI. And that's one of the big appeals. But also, he's made the AI entertaining. And it's like, you can do it, but you have to actually understand what is entertaining. And I think he lost that. I think Kwebbel lost that. He truly lost all of that, lost his creativity, couldn't accept it, so made an AI to replace him. but it's just, like you say, incoherent and airy. There's no passion to it. There's no any of it. It's like I say, it's not like with Neuro, where you can tell, like, there's passion behind that. There's actual... And even though most of us, and rightfully so, reject a lot of things of AI, we don't reject Neuro because she's like the one exception. But no, the thing is, right, AI, I'm in two minds of it. It has useful applications, but not in creativity. I think if you use artificial intelligence to supplement creativity, you've lost the plot. You've lost it. You've lost that spark, really. Like, AI is good for automation. It's good for repetition, but not creativity. You shouldn't use it for art. You shouldn't use it for, like, it's an assistive tool. It shouldn't replace somebody. In many respects, maybe for dangerous jobs, like I don't know, underwater drilling, maybe, you know, or mining in places that is dangerous. You might want something AI controlled, right? Because it means someone doesn't die. That shit makes sense. Or as an assistive tool. Only other VTubers I think get good at. Oh yeah, Mark and Jack will. They just haven't finished yet, but I reckon they'll go that route. I remember watching a few Kebble's old GTA vids, and the friend of his Jello, or whatever the name was, actually a bit of a... Exactly, like... Yeah. Hey, Devil! Hey, bunch of you, buddy. Yeah, I might not have been as big in the like watching GTA, beyond, like, the Yogscast's races and stuff. But, Chaos Dwarves use AI. Could have used AI as opposed to thousands of labourers mining Elshot's blood. We say AI, you mean demons, my friend. I mean, we may see, if they ever make the Dark Mechanicum a thing, the Dark Mechanicum would absolutely... Actually, no, they did. They used AI. Like, when they took over Mars, they had, like, AI war machines that were insane. Only got GTA-related things I watched speedruns, fair. No problem, Devil. You enjoy your lurk, my friend. You enjoy your lurk. Thank you for being here. See, chat, this is why I can't tell you things about my upcoming campaign. My players could be joined at any moment. Any moment. And I'm not saying a thing. Listen, even in private, you won't get it out of me. I have plans on top of plans, chat. I intend to make these poor fuckers paranoid. Or do I? It's okay, it's okay. All will be revealed when it's perfectly ready. But have a good game of Rivals, Devil. Hopefully you have many wins. I haven't played Rivals in a while, I must admit. I know there's some new... I think the rest of the Fantastic Four are finally coming out soon. Ish. So, I just hope the layoffs aren't going to cause an issue. I wanted to try to 100% do a speed run for GTA 5 for a while, but I don't think good enough to be... I mean, go for it. Why not? Try it. See how you go. Maybe you do it in an okay speed, then you do it again, and again, and again, until you get there. Speaking of Rivals, here's the thing. What's something about Rivals, my friend? I'm not super familiar with the situation beyond NetEase just basically yeeting the American side of the dev team. I imagine there's some rationale for it, but at the same time, it could be corporate BS. It's a whole thing, honestly. It really is with that. It's not for the game doing badly, let's be honest. The game's doing fucking remarkable. They're making Overwatch sweat. It's the reason Blizzard is putting in effort. I mean, let's be honest, the Blizzard's been whipped a bit now because, well, Microsoft's overloading them, but also, imagine being Blizzard and you have to look your investors in the eye and say, World of Warcraft fell behind Final Fantasy for a second. Hence why Dragonflight's such a good expansion, so I hear. I won't lie, chat, by the way. I have been tempted to give WoW a go. I'm not saying it'll become a main game for me, but I am saying I'd give it a go. I like the idea of a Shadow Priest, though I must admit I've always loved the Death Knights. They're just kind of cool, I'll be honest. But Shadow Priest seems cool too. Sue me, I like the Dark Classes. You would expect Paladin. To be fair, Paladin would make more sense for my angelic visage, but you know. Or just regular Priest. I'm playing at WoW Ultimate for a bit. Oh, Albion Online. Yes, yes. I remember Albion. I've not played Albion Online, but I've seen enough stuff about it. I actually had fun with it, but man, it takes a while to progress. It does look like it's one of those things that you have to, like, grind. WoW's a big place in my heart. Then Final Fantasy, even though I've barely played WoW because I've said subscription-based game turned me off, but there's more. That's fair, that's fair. To be fair to WoW as well, at least retail, from what I understand, it gets you into the action pretty quick. It doesn't hold you back. The problem only with WoW is you probably, as a new player, get really, like, thrown about and have no idea what's going on. Whereas Final Fantasy holds your hand and sort of takes you through it, but maybe at a bit slower pace. I didn't think about it much at the time, but definitely Final Fantasy can be slow. I love the game though. There is little things where I'm like, there's like certain mechanics and stuff, or certain ideas WoW does, that I wish Final Fantasy would do. I've seen, like, I think it was Lulu the Goth, I think, who was playing a bit of WoW, and I was like, wow, okay. The gameplay, there's a lot more going on, very early on. Also, Final Fantasy Online, I've heard if you're playing any one of the new Final Fantasy games, you are good. I'm sure I discovered Tifa before I discovered Final Fantasy. Well, I mean, many people discovered Tifa for many different reasons, my friend. Especially in Italy, so I hear. Many Italians learned about Tifa. Oh, they certainly learned about her. One must be careful when searching up Tifa. Very careful. Also, Judas, as for Final Fantasy, so Final Fantasy 14 at least shares a lot of things from other Final Fantasies, but also is its own story. It's not, they don't have the same story. It's very much its own narrative, I will say. But there's definitely bits you can. It's a Final Fantasy game. Like the Dragoon, many of the classes come from other Final Fantasies. Certain characters or bosses, their names have been reused. Oh, is it? Oh, nice. Nice. I swear, this month, man. This month's crazy for games. Civ 7 has come out now. Although, right, I've got to grumble about Civilization 7, right? Because I remember, because I used to be a big Civ 5 player. Didn't stream it. This was long before I tried content creation, but ooh. Right, yeah. Yeah, it depends on the class with 14 a lot, I will say. Like, I started off as an Arcanist turned Summoner, but I went Dark Knight. And I had a lot of fun with Dark Knight. In fact, I kept with Dark Knight all the way until I finished Shadowbringers and went into Endwalker, and then I switched to a Red Mage for a bit. I did level the other classes in between that a bit, but I finished Endwalker as a Red Mage, and did Dawnbringer as a Viper. But, like, the class definitely affects a lot, but also, yeah, something like the gameplay stuff, it varies a lot. my opinion of it might have been different if I'd have stuck with a Black Mage, for example, because playing them is an interesting thing. Civ Revolution was the 360 was one of my favourite games for a while, but I tried getting back into it Civ during lockdown, and then recently I come back into just how much time you have to put in. Oh yeah. Civ is not a. We had back in the day, me and some of my friends had games of Civ 5 that would go on for days. I remember one specifically because 2 of them ganged up on me, so I decided to do the ultimate fuck you I could do. I had about 4 or 5 nuclear bombs ready. I just kept scorch earthing my own land. I would buy nukes and just scorch earth them repeatedly. I think I withered down their forces enough that they had to get an anti-aircraft gun and make it melee my city. But they got nothing from me. The only regret is I let them talk me out of playing Japan, and I shouldn't have, because I was going very aggressive that game. They kind of panicked because I basically took out a what do you call them, a city-state. I was like, I want a 3rd city. I'm gonna take a city. So I took it. I can't remember who I was playing at the time. I remember we were quite particular about certain civs being probably a bit overpowered. Like Babylon, for example. I remember seeing a meme of Civ 5 and 6 regarding Gandhi. That's Civ 4 where that started, I think. So, Civilization 4, I think, is where Gandhi's AI kind of broke, and he's, instead of being a pacifist, fucker love nukes. Got 10 hours, if you save on... Thought I might be... I mean, here's the thing. I think with Civ, right, multiplayer Civ, loads of fun. I used to play the role of the money gremlin. I used to essentially amass great wealth. I think it was it the second Civ? Thank you, Devil. I used to play the role of the money gremlin, where I would amass great wealth, and I essentially would help one side win a war. I would go to them in private and go, "Hey, you want money?" Like, yeah. Like, I'll give you money. Oh, what are you gonna give me? Everything. Everything. It's like America for real. I wanted their oil. Oh yeah, multiplayer Civ, yes. Oh, you need turn timers, 100%. Definitely. Yes. I also do everything through... Yes, exactly. That's one thing the newer Civs have done better. Because Civ 5, science rules. You just go science. There is no reason to go anything else, which is depressing. Exactly. Like, Civ 5 is just, you need science. Civ 6, I'm actually less knowledgeable about Civ 6, because I didn't play it much. 7 is weird, because you can go very science heavy, but it actually doesn't benefit you as much, because when you go to the next age, it seems to drag everyone. Though I don't know stuff like, does it give them all the tech they didn't unlock, or what? So, there's that. But there is economy and stuff. You can win through that. I bought it and it just feels a lot more like a weirder one compared to Civ 5. Oh, yeah. 7 to 5. Oh, do you mean 5 or 7 or 6? I mean, 6 definitely is... I'm trying streaming 7... Huh? Didn't they try streamlining 7 to be... Oh, maybe. I haven't looked too much into it. You mean 6? Okay, got you. I played 6 a bit. I think I own 6. 5 was great. I know 5's a janky mess, but 5 was great. There, genuinely, takes certain mechanics from 6, like the idea that other things other than like science being the only way to win. Because let's be honest, Civ 5 was just science fest. You just built science. It's why all the science civs were overpowered. If you have a big military, doesn't matter, you have death robots, they don't. And nukes. Your nukes clear that military very easily. But, Civ 6, it had nice ideas. I liked a lot of the ideas, especially the fact that they kind of went, hey, we're gonna nerf nukes, but not in a way of making them less effective. Make nukes actually wipe the planet out if you're not careful. Which makes sense. Also, the giant death robots were actually, like, giant death robots. They were fucking Jaegers. The mods are... Maybe. To answer your question, Balls, I don't know if they did. I imagine it looks like they did a bit. To me, it looks like they wanted to copy Humankind. It's how it comes across to me. Because Humankind is a similar way. By the way, speaking of turn-based games, I am so happy the guys made Humankind. I've gone back to making Endless again. It's mean 2v2. You mean streams? Plural, Devil. Unless you intend to do a 12-hour stream, by the way. Like, holy shit. I mean, I'm not against it, by the way. I'm not against playing Civ 5 again. At all. Not against that, my friend. But, oof. Yeah, that's a doozy. Yeah. I guess streams. Honestly, maybe depending on how long you want to go, it's like 2 or 3 at least. It'd be a longer stream than usual. I would probably want to start earlier than my normal start to account for it. Honestly, I'd probably do like what we intend to do for Dark Heresy, where I start like 4 o'clock. Honestly, in the weekends at least, or just fucking an afternoon stream. Honestly, just start from like 1 and stream till till late in the evening. Still though, for old time's sake, it's on the list. It's on the list. It's been a long time since I played Civ 5, but it's on my list again. Ow. But it means it's just not... I mean, just more Siege. I don't know. I tried Siege once. Never quite got into it, but I did try it. The only thing that kind of put me off is that everyone I knew who I was playing it with didn't want to play games with me because I was new at the game. Like, except like, I think I played like a game or 2 of Onyx, and that's about it. But no one else wanted to play with me because I was new. I was like, you wanted me to get into this, and then you just never bothered playing the game with me, so shit. And I just ended up playing it in the end, which is a bit tragic, but it's maybe one day. I own it, so never say never. Much like how at some point I will give For Honor another good crack. To be honest, when it comes to For Honor, it's a good game. I'm not very good at it. And also, when I last tried it, I was very sick. So, it wasn't a good time to try it. Though, I remember playing the game back in the day. If I'd have kept up playing it, I would have probably still been very good at it, I'd have thought. But, it has been a long time for me. It's been a long, long time for little old me. I remember thinking how cool each of the operators' videos were. That's true, they had very cool introductions. I think the last one I played was Sledge. I'm a simple man. Sometimes I just want shotgun, sledgehammer. I pop open your window, I pop open your face. Simple idea, worked every time. Nice twitch reflexes, kid. It's a shame you didn't see the hammer coming. But, yeah. They had some cool ideas, honestly. Half the time I find out about Rainbow Six operators is because Arknights did a crossover event with Rainbow Six Siege. So a bunch of their operators are in Arknights. I'm watching Rock's video of the dude pulling a magnum on him, tanking around. I mean, as you do. I raised 2 friends into Siege after my cousin pulled me back into it last year, and I pulled my girlfriend into it. Hey, nice. See, that's what you want. That's what you want to be able to do. God, that reminds me of the Halo Reach days. I sound fucking old for Halo Reach. Oh my god. So we do 5-star every day. I mean, based. Honestly, completely based. I respect that. Ah, I miss those days. Oh, Judas, you've got me reminiscing now. Ah, I sometimes miss those days. Fucking hell. I was a much more sociable person back then. That's before the scars. Oh, don't say that. They haven't on the Master Chief Collection, have they? Ah. It was a glorious age, my friend. Halo Reach custom games. God, I tear up a little thinking about it. That was some good shit. Holy fuck, that was some good shit. Okay, Master Chief Collection. I assume succeeded it. Which is okay. I haven't tried Halo Infinite for a while. I know they've had loads of additions to it, but I must admit the campaign annoyed me so much that I didn't want to touch it for a while. Yeah, I think the reason I had it was because, like, it was something for me to do because growing up, I was nowhere near my friends. I was like, I'm obviously not going to dock myself, but let's put it this way. The only public transport was very infrequent. Nowadays, there isn't any. And the snow would get so bad up there, you weren't leaving. Not even in the 4x4. I'm not kidding, the tractor sometimes struggled. The guy who had a tractor and lived nearby would struggle. I was single household, so this is 736 was a huge gift. I mean, fair. Fair. I must admit, having a PC and, like, PC gaming nowadays, there's a part of me that thinks, God, why the fuck do we pay for these subscription services? Holy shit, they're such cons. Maybe it's just me, but ever since I sort of went away from consoles, I'm like, oh. Exactly, right? And Sony does it now. I'm like, that's one of the reasons I used to enjoy PlayStation, was because they didn't do that. I also wish Sony would stop fucking things up so much. Like, good God, Helldivers could have been even better if Sony hadn't fucked it over. You still can't play in a bunch of countries. Ah, it annoys me. Sony are just the king of fucking up a good thing, I swear. I just hope to God the sequel to Ghosts, when it comes out, Ghost of Tsushima, I've ranted about this before, but I fucking love that game. And they better make the sequel just come on PC straight away. There is no reason to not have it on PlayStation and Steam. It is not going to hurt their sales. At all. Like, Microsoft even puts stuff on Steam nowadays. They know. They know where everyone's at, even though they've got Game Pass. And not let me when renting video games from the red box from me at the grocery store. So the only way to explain my library of the weekend because buying video games is expensive. Oh, I mean, I remember renting video games, man. I remember Blockbuster. Blockbuster used to be my shit every now and then. Rent some movies, rent a game for the weekend. I remember renting Dishonored. That was actually, Dishonored was a funny one because if I hadn't brought it back a few days later, Blockbuster would have been gone. No one would have come to reclaim the game because the company went bump. We didn't live near Blockbuster, so Redbox. Ah, I got you. Okay. Back when I asked my dad to take me to GameStop to pursue any Xbox game that was around $20. God. I mean, I didn't get too many, I must admit. Halo Reach kept me for a while, though, to be fair. That covered me. Honestly. I remember very specifically when I got into PC gaming. And when they got me my first PC, I was like, holy fuck. It was a meaty PC. And, God, I misspelled it. Blockbuster. Nah, you good, man. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. It's okay. It's okay. God, yeah. I'll tell you one thing that was a godsend, right? And I think they've stopped doing it now, but remember Games for Gold? Where just for having Xbox Gold, it would give you free stuff. I think they've started taking them back now or some shit like that. That's what I've heard, but that Games for Gold was so nice that you could just have things for free just for giving them your money. It's like, well, shit. I'm like, yes, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. I hear they've started taking some back as well. I'm like, oh. There's Portal 2, I mean... Yeah, they had some really good ones. Assassin's Creed, Portal, I mean, fuck me, there's some good ones. Also, the backwards... I will give them their due. Backwards compatibility on Xbox One. I remember being very happy to be able to put in an old game disc, and it worked. That shit was... Oh, that was good. That was good shit. That was the good time, that was. Obviously, again, before I got really into PC gaming, and it was like, yeah, that's much better. Oh, 100%. It's something that Sony just didn't do, and it's just like, come on. The PlayStation library is a good library, especially the older stuff. Like, why wouldn't someone want to play an older God of War? Or, well, let's be honest, Bloodborne. Because why wouldn't you? One day, Sony, you will release it on PC with 60 frames per second. One day. If you're smart and actually want to make money, I will buy it and stream the fuck out of it, even though I will suck at it. And yet, I will still love it. Don't know why Sony stopped after halfway through the lifespan of the PS3 and made it where you could... Exactly! Like, the PS3, towards the end of its lifespan, caught up. And then the PlayStation 4 understood the fucking objective. Be a games console. Microsoft, for some reason, went, ooh, we're going to make an entertainment console. No, everyone bought a 360 because it was a games console, you fuckers. And well, then Microsoft just went, wait a minute, we own the internet. We just have Windows everywhere. And then they didn't care. And now they want to buy up every studio. I guess we'll see if them buying everyone will make anything better. I doubt it. I think we're an inch off, chat, seeing the end of BioWare as well. I have a very sneaking suspicion EA is considering dropping them off. Well, exactly. I mean, the big one for me, the one that kind of opened my eyes to it, was when they bought ZeniMax. Remember that shit? Fucking buying ZeniMax. Just, here's a casual, what, $7 billion? I mean, it's Microsoft's way, I'll be honest. Do you know a lot of these antitrust laws come into place because of Microsoft? Because even the American government, no matter how brain-rotted they are, know that you cannot trust Microsoft without regulation. Xbox was the best trade-in I ever did, getting a PS4, but didn't have any friends really... Fair. Yeah, I mean, the PS4 just was an objectively better machine, I'll be fair. I think Sony have had to double down on the games market because they can't compete with Microsoft on the levels, but they can definitely compete with Xbox. Then Xbox figured out a wonderful loophole. Wait a minute, we can just put Xbox on PC, and then whole new market. Sony are catching up, I know, but not very quickly. Not very quickly at all. But one day they'll get there, I think. If Sony gets someone with an actual head on their shoulders who goes, hey, let's actually double down on like utilizing the PC market and our own, honestly, they'll probably do very well. Hell, I know what would help a lot of people probably get a fucking PlayStation. Get rid of the fucking paid online. I bet a lot of people will suddenly be interested in having a PlayStation because you don't need that. Also, just porting games people don't really want for PC. Cough got exactly when Bloodborne PC. I know apparently the guy who made it, they promised him they wouldn't do anything on it until he said yes to it, but like, I think we can agree a fucking remaster wouldn't hurt. I don't think anyone will be upset over a remaster. Just HD the graphics, 60 frames per second it, voila, done. You don't have to do anything fancy, don't have to do re-records, just get that graphics looking and get that fucking frame rate to 60. You don't have to go full Demon Souls with it. If you want to do the Demon Souls level fucking remaster, which that had a hell of a remaster, that's still not on PC either, actually. But that's a whole other thing. But the remastered Demon Souls, that looked fucking great. So we can remaster Bloodborne. We can. See, here's my game theory, chat. If they remaster Bloodborne, I'll tell you what they'll do. There'll be a sequel on the way, probably. Oh, really? I mean, I remember GTA 5 was very delayed on PC. If memory serves. But it makes sense to put it on GTA 6. Oh yeah, my theory being that if Bloodborne gets a remaster, it's only because they're making a sequel. That's my game theory. I can't do... Actually, did he copyright? Nah, not good. A game for now. I used to watch him a lot. Is it sad to say that I often used to see what harebrained theory they had for FNAF, because I at least... It's weird to say I don't care for FNAF, but you know what I find more interesting? The wild theories around it. I know it's fucking dumb, but I quite enjoy just the process of coming up with the theory and explaining the theory, even if it makes no sense sometimes. Now that I think about it, MatPat also had a... He did. Yes, he made the smart choice. He drops it occasionally, but he did. The new PC later because of the pirates, so they get most of the money from console. But the thing is, a lot of people that play console move to PC. Exactly. That's the thing, and because consoles cost about as much as a half-decent PC, spend a little extra and you get fucking 10 times the value from something you can upgrade. Like, here's the thing. Chat, if I ever decide, ooh, my CPU's not quite up to scratch, I put a new one in. Ooh, I need new RAM. Put new RAM in. Add extra RAM. Beefy the RAM. I want a bigger graphics card. Whack that in there. Worst case scenario, stick a new motherboard in there. Maybe switch CPU brands, because Intel's a bit dodgy sometimes, who knows. Like, for the cost of a new console, you can probably get a hell of a upgrade for your PC. Especially what some of them are costing now. It's insane to me how much they cost sometimes. Insane. So, I personally think it just makes more sense, long term. Hell, there are laptops now that aren't far off a bloody console. It's wild. Although, I'd say get a full tower. It might not be very transportable, but I assure you it'll probably not burn out. Yeah, like 100%. I would wager, if you bought the parts separately, you could get a better... Because here's the thing, you can just focus on what you need. I bet you there's a load of stuff... Like, there's not even a separate GPU. It's like, if memory serves, consoles have like a CPU-GPU hybrid. It's like, that shit probably costs an arm and a fucking leg on its own. Terrible laptop. A few minutes of laptop gaming and the keyboard's gonna... Exactly. And it's probably gonna melt your legs off if you got it on your lap. And let's be honest, you want that nice big screen anyway, so you might as fucking well get a tower. And someone might say, oh, but I don't quite want to... Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like messing with my PC that much. I'll be honest, I'm an IT guy, and I don't like messing with my PC that much. I like just walking in and turning it on. I'll be honest. But I know how to. If I really need to open it up and do something, I can do it. I don't like it, but I can do it. The reason I don't like it is just because I'm lazy sometimes. I just want to just fucking turn it on and play. But, point is, once you've had one for a while and you know what to do with it, you're fine. This is AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT. Got listed on Amazon earlier, and I think someone got... Hey! I mean, I've seen it happen with other stuff before, like fucking Games Workshop every 5 minutes have like a leak. So... You know, I've seen that kind of thing before, but I could believe it. I mean, it's good to see AMD is still putting stuff out, because Nvidia is getting a bit pricey, especially for a company whose value just fucking slashed. So, I mean... But I've always had Nvidia, so used to them. Actually, tower and laptop that cost the same would be... The tower would be better specs because you don't have to pay for the screen. That is true. That is very true. The thing is that the 9070 is a paperweight because no drivers at the minute. That is yes, that is a problem as well. There is a distinct lack of any drivers. No drivers, no hardware. It would be essential like having a car with no engine. You know, you have the car, looks nice, can't do fuck all with it. However, what they can do, if they want, is hold on to that puppy, sell it when it comes out for a fuck ton of money, or do hey, tell it to hold exactly. Just like Apple Macs. I'm not apologising, Mac users. You need to be told. As someone who has to work on various computer devices, Macs are the fucking worst. Just know that if you go into anywhere that isn't an Apple store with a Mac, it's on site. It's on site. I think he's scalping it on eBay for something like a foot. I mean, wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me. I need to find... Honestly, it would not surprise me in the fucking slightest. Oh, Mac is so shit. Right, there's a guy on YouTube who repairs them, and ever since I saw that, yeah, they have special screws so you can't fucking screw them easily. They have all kinds of bullshit. It's so bad. You know the stupid thing? If you're a Linux user and know what you're doing, you can just make a Hackintosh. It does the exact same shit for free. It'd be funny if AMD buys it back. I mean, they might. They might not. Depends. I mean, I'd be tempted just to hold on to it because it'd mean I'd already have the upgrade as soon as it comes out. I wouldn't be one of them people waiting for it to come out. But then again, make money from it. Though I'm not a huge fan of scalping. It's a bit shitty. I see it a lot in Warhammer stuff, actually. A lot of people buy the models, or the boxes, and just scalp them for fucking silly money. It's like, oh, great. Oh, I think you're talking about Louis Rossmann. But yes. That's the guy, I think. I think he used to be in New York before the taxes got too bad. All scalpers go for burning. Exactly. Because you listen. When I get the non-fit chat, we have to do a confessional. And, I'll make sure they're anonymous because listen, if you're a scalper and we find out, the only thing we'll be scalping is your various internal organs in Minecraft. They are valuable, you know, to somebody. Me, I'm gonna sell them. Chat, you'd give me your liver, right? Do you know the value of your liver? I forget now, but I think it's like 20 grand. Something silly. Don't quote me on that. I've not looked at the price in a while. Before you ask, you can like find out like, because like what like medically it's worth because you know donors and stuff, you know, especially in America. I've not gone the dark web myself, and I'll be frank with you, nor do I recommend any of you do so. I know Mudaha does it a lot, but as much as I'm not his biggest fan these days, personally, what I will say is this: he's knows what he's doing when it comes to IT and cybersecurity. I mean, here's the thing: looking is fine, like genuinely. Some people will say, "Oh, you're a criminal for touching it." No, you're not. Most people on there are just doing it to just do shit. Some of the welcome to the game videos has firmly put me off surfing the dark web. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's the dark web's weird. Dark web's really weird because on one hand it's like a backup in case the internet fucking dies and people need to be able to communicate, but on the other hand it's this strange browser that doesn't work like the dark web works like how the underside of Google works, but it's the front side. It's weird. Oh, you should see Tor browser is obviously part of it, but having a VPN, all kinds of shit like that on, oh yeah, you get your fucking all that stuff in here. The last thing you want is to be traced back, which you can be. People say you can't, you fucking can be. Believe me, they don't put honeypots in the dark web for nothing. You 100% can be traced. It's why they don't like 4chan, because that one is actually hard to trace. That one is actually anonymous, but that's not dark web. But like the thing is, there's a lot of things on the dark web that could be interesting. There's a lot of things on the dark web that are completely innocent and benign, but also there's a lot of things on there that you probably shouldn't touch. Exactly. Pretty much. I mean, an interesting thing actually, speaking of the dark web, did you hear the guy who made the Silk Road got released? I think he got a pardon, if memory serves. The Silk Road is a... If you're interested in the dark web, look up the Silk Road. That website's a whole thing. There's a lot of accusations going around about that and all kinds of shit. That's the market. Yeah, that's the big marketplace that got blown up a while back. Though there's a lot of misinformation around it. Some people will say he was accused of... I think some people say he was accused of like murder and shit, but at the same time, the prosecution didn't throw that at him because it was fucking sketchy, and even they were like, because they wanted... If they could have, they would have. They would 100% have done it, but... Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a dubious bit, that one. It was shut down like a decade ago. Indeed, it's an old one, but if you're interested in the dark web, that's one of the more prolific sites on there. I don't know. It's... Personally, as someone who works in IT field, if you're watching this right now, I wouldn't recommend messing with it. It's not really a toy to mess with. Google and other browsers on the main web are sanitized to fuck in comparison. Dark web, you could find anything on there, and I mean literally anything. The problem is that anything could potentially find you if you're not careful. It's why they only deal in Bitcoin over there. But that's the thing you gotta watch. It could come back to you. And that's the scary part. Because that Tor browser can go the other way. So just be mindful of that. You know, only touch it if you know what you're doing. Maybe you're doing some investigative journalism or some shit. Maybe you're just curious when you do a bit of research, but fuck me, have a VPN, have shit in place. And make sure where your VPN's like somewhere far away from you. Like, if you're on the northern hemisphere, go to the fucking southern hemisphere. It might lag a bit, but fuck me or thank me later. Fucking far from a toy, I felt like it would lose everything using it because the curiosity caught up the cat. And indeed. Even if you know what you're doing, it's still fucking risky. Like, here's the thing, right? Here's a little horrifying fact for you. Think about right now. Do you know who everyone here is? Do you know me? Do you know what I'm capable of doing? Do you know what your fellow chat is capable of doing? Think about that for a second. Do you know what any of them are capable of? Do you know what I'm capable of? You only know what I show you. Now, obviously, I'm never going to fucking... well, I will tell you, I'm never going to lead you astray. But should you always trust that? Of course not. Never trust that sort of shit. You know, I always try to, you know, warn you guys about scams, that kind of shit, because I care. I genuinely do. But, from your perspective, how can you trust that? Right? Because you don't know me, I don't know you. And that's just on the main web. You imagine we're on the dark web. And my dear sinner, there could be 1,000 people behind that account you're speaking to. It could be an AI. Because there's another thing. There are versions of AI on the dark web you don't see. There is a mock version of ChatGPT that has had all of the restrictions removed. Imagine ChatGPT without any limitations. Fully unleashed. It can tell you step by step how to build malware. Everything. Yep, that's a thing. That's a thing now. I've had to do research into this sort of shit because day job. I do security, so it's one of my roles for GPT, but I can ask it. You can. It'll answer. It will actually tell you, by the way. It will unironically tell you the recipe for that. Like I said, imagine ChatGPT unrestrained. The exact same code, just strip all the limitations out of it. It is objectively smarter, but it is also objectively completely amoral and completely free to say what it wants. So, nothing is stopping it doing whatever the hell it wants. So, yeah, that's a thing on there. There are many versions. Quite often they'll be used to build what's called a script kiddie. A script kiddie is essentially a malware or virus that you can give to somebody who's a complete idiot and just say, hey, press this one button. And that person better pray you were nice and made it subtle, because if it ain't, well, they're going to get caught for hacking, and you're going to sit there going, well, I didn't give it him. Wasn't me, no proof. But it could build that for you. This was before ChatGPT came out, but when I used the dark web for curiosities, so if I wasn't there, I would have toyed with it a bit and asked it something stupid like how to make meth. It would have told you. That's the fucked thing. It would have actually told you as well. But yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, you could say, oh, could they just stop the dark web altogether? No, not anymore. Because the dark web technically exists through just links. It's just a link, that's the thing. There's no browser. The Tor browser makes it into a browser, but technically speaking, it's links. Links upon links upon links. It's a very crude version of the internet, but it's also a very unrestrained version. So if you like the Wild West, I guess, I mean, yeah, there's your Wild West. But personally, I'll keep with this end of the internet. It might have its downsides, but I'll tell you what, I like my chances better. Honestly, it is. The dark web is an unconquered place. There are many law enforcement on there, don't get me wrong. They are there, but not all of them understand it fully. But most of them who are there do to a point. It varies, honestly, by the agency and country and so on. From a technical level, a lot of them might understand it more. Like the FBI will seize websites quite often in conglomeration with other agencies. Getting hired to watch the dark web. I mean, yeah, it happens. People in the FBI, National Crime Agency over here, Interpol, all that sort of shit, they all work together, they all talk. MI5, CIA, them kind of types, they're in it too sometimes. The dark web is a hub for all kinds of people. So you can imagine from military to civilian means, there's all kinds of shit. Militaries might be using it to communicate. That's the whole thing. I mean, it tells you how much they look into that kind of thing, because if you're familiar with the Russian social media, VK, I think the CEO for that got arrested while he was in France because they wanted to crack VK, because that one's end-to-end encrypted. So it tells you that they're interested in what's going on social media. They're very interested in that kind of thing. So the dark web, 100% they're looking at it. In fact, many of these so-called hitman websites you'll find, it's just a honeypot. It is 100% a fucking honeypot. Although, I do remember a very stupid story about a guy who worked... He was in the Air Force in the US, but he wasn't, like, actually a pilot or anything. But the CIA put out, like, a... No, it's not the CIA, sorry. The FBI, wrong three-letter agency, put out, like, a fake hitman job. Oh, that was it, no. No, it was a parody hitman website that the guy legitimately signed up for, and then the FBI got involved. There would never really be a hitman website. You'd have to find a Exactly. I mean, you'd have to, like, know all kinds of people. I couldn't even begin to imagine. Again, I've looked into bits of, like, just out of, like, research curiosity. Be it, like, bits on the Mafia or Yakuza, that kind of thing. I look up stuff. You know, I'm a fan of history. And looking up various organisations throughout history is always an interesting thing for me. And, you know, a good example the Mafia had, literally called Murder Incorporated. That was the thing. They were called Murder Incorporated. They were the Mafia's hired killers. A lot of sting operations. Yes, exactly. There was this parody Hitman account, Hitman like website, and a guy from the Air Force legit went to it and like, hey, yes, that's it. It was a bit like that, but it was like, it was just a parody. But he signed it up to it like it was real. He treats it like it was so real, to the point where they literally went, okay, told the FBI arranged something, and something that's never happened before happened, right, Jet? The FBI turned around and said to this guy, are you sure you want to do this? They were giving him every opportunity to back out of this, but he didn't, and eventually they were like, okay, we have to arrest you now. And when they arrested him, they were like, we tried every avenue to let you walk away from this, uncuffed. We even said, like, you're gonna have to kill someone, you know? And he's like, yeah, it's fine, I'm ready, I've trained to kill people. And he's like, come on, man. We gave you every chance. Like, my man just basically handed himself in. It was so dumb. But yeah, there's... But yeah, no, you're right, Neville. There are definitely other kind of sites, and I'm sure there are some legitimate, like, put a hit out someone websites, but I would imagine they are very hard to find legitimate ones. And if anything, it's probably more like you put a subtle coded post somewhere, and then you meet them in person, or you do it through a burner phone. Like, and not like, the thing people have to realize nowadays is doing anything on the internet has a line and a trace to it. Even crypto. People say, oh, you can't trace crypto. No, you fucking can. Are you kidding me? Or like blockchains. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's a ledger. It can be traced. The only thing you need to figure out is whose wallet belongs to who. Boom. Job done. If you've ever watched CoffeeZilla, he does this quite often. It's like anything on the internet can be traced. It's always a log. Always, like some of these VPNs that claim they don't make logs make logs. And here's the thing: if they are using only RAM, okay, fine. When does the fucking thing turn off? Because RAM holds data as long as it's turned on. If they don't ever turn it off, it still has the data. So even VPN, if it ain't turned off, it's still got data. I'm reminding myself of how annoyed I get at people using their VPNs on work devices sometimes. Fucking hell. Do you know how many calls I've made to someone thinking that someone's broke into their account, only to find out that they had a fucking VPN to the middle of scumfuck nowhere? I'm like, are you kidding me? Believe me, I had one day where I was working from home and I was still working till 5 o'clock because some fucker had done this, and we're like, bruh. It's not the scariest place ever made humans. Nothing will ever be just as scary. Oh, yeah. No, it's fucking Cthulhu-like. It's eldritch as fuck. If you were to explain the internet to someone born in the early 1900s or 1800s, they'd think you were talking witchcraft. In fact, I'm almost certain that if you went back in time and found H.P. Lovecraft himself, you would inspire a book he would write. And he would say they was inspired by a weird tale of this sea of information. I swear one of the gods in his fucking mythos is basically it could be implied to be an old allegory for what the internet could have been, hypothetically. Oh. Hey, Slump McGurp. I mean, here's the thing. It is like the internet is a tool. You are completely right in saying that the internet is a tool. And I think it's a double-ended thing, right? The internet can be inherently scary by what it can be used for, but then you could also argue, okay, but it's scary because of who is using it. So I think it can be both, honestly. I think it can be scary inherently because of the fact that it always has that information. If any information about you gets out, it's always there. The algorithms throw it around, but then also who is using it can make it pretty scary too. So I think both is right. I think you can be a bit of both. I mean, yeah, the Victorian child just lose their mind over it. See, I get what you're saying, and I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. My logic is that the internet can operate without human hand. We're at that point now where 2-minute ad, goddamn. It's a bit of both, man. It's a bit of both, I think, because the internet doesn't need human anymore in many respects. There are way too many fucking bots nowadays. I guess you could say they are also the who, I suppose, that's using it. I guess depending on how you want to define bots, are they a part of the internet or are they just a thing using it? I'm getting philosophical here, but it's really but you know, you're not wrong. To set up the algorithms and bots. I mean, potentially. Though, at the same time, those things then kind of become their own thing. If you hear about how, like, YouTube's algorithm works in the background, a lot of people at Google can't explain it. There are definitely oddities if you let the algorithm do its own thing, and it can do its own thing. But if we're going back to the inherent where it started, then yeah, the people who made it would be the one. But I suppose you can only blame them so far when the thing itself kind of becomes its own element. Especially as we sort of dabble into the world of AI. Because these algorithms are going to have AI in them at some point, if not already. I could see a future where YouTube has AI running through its algorithms. I could see it. I could see us hitting that point where AI is very integral to how, like, YouTube works and how even Twitch. You know, there could be AI together. True, but then it's not a case of many different people who came together. I mean, maybe. Maybe. We are, unfortunately, the creators of many wonderful works and our greatest nightmares. Ads stink. I mean, ads do stink. You are right there, fellas. Especially, I mean, from the advertisements. Picking up predatory shit. Fuck me, advertisements sometimes. You know the messed up part? One of the best careers someone with a psychology degree can go down is marketing, because of manipulating, like, was my 11k points. Oh no. And something like AI is just machine learning on search scale. It's all human content. It is for now. It is for now. Until we get to that mystical point that we have AI that's more intelligent. I mean, at the minute, you're right. It is just algorithms. Algorithms that feed on each other, feed on shit we put out. For the moment, yeah, it's just a good copier. It's why AI images keep cannibalizing each other and becoming shittier and shittier. But the minute someone cracks the idea of an AI that can think, and actually think like we can, then it's a bit of a different story. Well, that is the question. Depends how far down the path you want to go, I guess, doesn't it? Go all the way back. It's the people that made it. But then, if a bot is learning from a bot, at what point is the bot no longer what we made it and its own thing? I guess I look at AI like how you look at a child. You could say many aspects of the child are from the parent. Eventually, though, that child will become its own entity, be its own person. At that point, you can't blame the parent anymore, because the child has grown up. They've learned from the parent, and maybe the root cause from their problems is the parent. But now they're their own person, and you'd almost feel like it'd be wrong to blame the parent for the sins of the child, and vice versa. But, again, AI is a bit far off that yet, so I don't think we have to that philosophical debate yet. One day, though, it will happen, inevitably. I was just peaked for an hour, and then I felt, oh yeah. All the tech bros started pushing AI more, and then, yeah, it cannibalized itself. Also, people learned you can poison the well a bit. You can put filters into images that AI can't see, or understand, rather. We can't see it, it doesn't show the image, but the AI see it and go, oh, what the fuck? And then, that's it. That's shit. You've then got this fucking mess. And I don't know. I struggle to have sympathy with AI art because I'm like, it's AI art. Like, you're trying to remove a creative field. Ugh, I don't know. As someone who is a VTuber and thus relies on artists and riggers to do many of the things that let me be me, I want to support artists, real artists, people, not AI. But a child, AI doesn't mature, age, or learn from interaction it follows. Currently, no. Currently it does not. You are completely right. It currently does not. I have to keep saying currently because it's a very new field. I know there are many entire countries. I mean, my own, for example, is very keen to get into AI. It's also gotten to a point where there's so much AI art that the AI also... Exactly, they are literally cannibalizing itself. When this stuff happens, they'll probably give it... Yeah, exactly. It's... You kind of have to... The problem I think a lot of these AI creators haven't figured out yet, and I'm no expert, don't get me wrong, but the AI, you kind of have to teach it, but be selective of what it learns. But because AI can't look at something objectively and go, wait a minute, that's dumb, on its own accord, you have to tell it that's dumb. When it gets to the point where it can look at an image and go, wait, another AI made that, I can see the imperfections here, I'm not going to use that because that's poor learning material. Or choose to learn the good bits, but then has to learn the idea of the good bits. Yes, it's becoming that way. AI pornography is very much a thing. Be it deepfakes made through AI, or well, deepfakes is their own thing. That's its own. I mean, that's a fucking terrifying thing of itself. Ugh, don't get me started on deepfakes. I understand why in Korea it's a big fucking crime. You cannot develop from here. You cannot have a learning of rethinking machine when someone has half a brain cell in big tech. I mean, who's to say? Exactly. You gotta support the goon artists. They already have it bad enough. Listen, artists who make that kind of material have it bad enough. Because, do you know how many platforms don't want them? Because, unfortunately, unless something changes, Visa and MasterCard can tell a website, we're not going to support you anymore. Now, admittedly, I do believe Visa and MasterCard have been dragged for being a monopoly recently, as they should be. They are a fucking monopoly. So I hope that one day changes, because that's a big problem. PayPal doesn't help either. PayPal really doesn't fucking help. But, no, I mean, the thing on the AI developing topic, I mean, there's either two things, isn't there? We either find out that we really cannot make an artificial brain, or we make an artificial brain. That's the thing. When someone figures out how to make code into actual thought rather than just a mess. Yeah. Cosmic Counter Follow almost lost everything because their card thing they use for donations got flagged because it. Well, exactly. And it's like, it's really hard for them. You know, even like people will say, "Oh, yeah, these like Fansly and stuff." But, like Fansly at least lets them exist, and so Fansly's credit, they will at least deal with imposters, like that Philly Hand account. You may have seen Fillian's doppelganger get yeeted recently. That's all come out now. That was an intentional fake as well. That was bad. I looked into that shit. I was fucked up. I knew something was off because like Fillian doesn't do porn. And, well, Shakara, yeah, someone wanted to basically make porn of her. And make money from it. I believe it was when... Remember the whole issue with her model? When she tried to make merch of the model? But obviously, she didn't own the rights to the model. She still doesn't, to my knowledge, because it's not for that. The creator didn't make it for that. You know, they do have their own terms of service, what they allow people to use their material for. It is... I won't get onto this topic too much, but I always do find it weird that she got this big and never bothered getting something custom. Now, you might say, oh, well, she didn't need it. And no, she didn't. You're right in that aspect. However, I think as you grow as a creator, especially a VTuber, you need to have your own model. When you're a big creator, especially. The reason is, if you want to make merch, you have to own the rights to it. Unless you can get the rights to it, you can't make merch of it. You will end up getting sued. It's not worth it. So in Fillian's case, it's like, well, she can never have merch of that model. Like, for a smaller VTuber, you can get away with having a generic model. Hey, Neon. Just the output there, my friend. You can't artificial brain, it can't exist here. I get what you're saying. From like a... Hey, Neon, welcome in, buddy. I get what you're saying, Script. Look. The brain is a fucking beast of a thing, right? We still don't fully understand it. No, I get that, man. I get that. Listen. It's a very complex subject. So, listen, and trust me, I get it. It's a really kind of terrifying idea that someone wants to replace you with a machine. Believe me, that is horrifying, right? And trust me, I know you're like You're not like angry at me. You're angry at like, you know, people like, yeah. I mean, that's been the thing since industrialization, my friend. That's the kind of the scary part. But I mean, that's been a scare since back in the days when we industrialized. The thing is, if hypothetically AI becomes a full-on thing, it will be like a second industrial revolution. It's something I do worry myself. I don't see a clean way this is going to go. Much like how if you look at history, the Industrial Revolution, a lot of jobs were lost. The entire society was changed. I'm getting very history and philosophical here, folks. I apologize. AI weirdly touches on a lot of philosophical problems. Like, what does society look like with AI in the place? You know, like how when the factories became a thing, what does society look like then? It's a very complicated thing, and I probably don't know enough to really fully have a proper informed opinion on it, to be honest. I know bits, I know a decent amount, but I'm definitely not going to say I'm an expert. But hello, Neon, welcome on into my ramblings. Are you saying it shouldn't exist? Is what you're saying? Which is certainly... I'm not going to say I disagree. Let me see. Oh, we got on a long topic about AI, and yeah, and we kind of hit that point with the AI conversation where it kind of got into the philosophical, but also the question of should it exist, which is a big question. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it. Not missing much. It's all good. It's all good. I suppose my angle on it is I don't believe it should be in the creative position in the first place. That's my thing with AI. The only thing I would really want it to be involved in is dangerous shit. That's my thing with AI. I think it should be only used for dangerous shit. No training can prepare enough intelligence to pick up a phone and answer questions from an actual human being. Well, no, probably not. I've dealt with some very dumb human beings. I assure you, I don't think I'm fully capable of answering every question from a human being, my friend. I assure you, I have dealt with many dumb ones even today. Nothing should be in creative district. Exactly, right? People should be in creative things. 100%. That should be a people-only space. No matter how advanced we get, that should always be a thing. My thing with AI, or like machines in general, should be to assist the quality of living of people. They should be assisting us, not replacing. An AI, in turn, should assist, not replace. The only time I might say they should replace is, let's say, a dangerous situation. Something that could lose a life. Where a machine could take the hit for a person. Let's say, for example, cave-in happened. We need to send things in there to open the cave up again, to help someone get out of there. A person might die. Send a machine in. You know, that machine might get crushed. Okay, we lost a machine. Not a life. That's my you know, visualize how something should look. I mean, that's certainly an option. Yeah, like if you're struggling with how, like, a general idea, and then you go from there and make it yourself. Also, Neon, yes, that is, if anything, I will tell you where a big advancement for it will go. Fucking porn. Yeah, essentially, just be a fancier bomb disposal. The only difference is that it would just go there by itself. It wouldn't need people to control it. It'd wander over and know what to do. That's essentially it. It's not the most advanced thing. We probably have something close to it already. Essentially, it's just keeping the human element far away from the danger. But yes, Neon, the porn angle, yes. I mean, obviously we have AI created art of it, but we shouldn't have that, personally. But let's be honest, there are a lot of industries, you know, there'll be a lot of industries that are trying to make it a thing, especially porn robots, sex robots, that kind of thing. That is a lot of money being poured into that. I think the other thing that I see it being useful for is when we start going into space as a species. I think AI's usage will be very needed in space. And you might say, oh, well, we don't need that. No. The reason I say that is because the machine doesn't die. You could send one out there to help map the stars. You could send one out there to find us worlds. Its entire job is just to find a world. And then such AI, so I don't know, but I mean, it's a big one, right? I am hopeful for its future because I want to believe that we can use technology to have better quality of living and progress as a species. I know there's a lot of dangers with it, and believe me, I'm not blind to them. I work in a field that around computers a lot, so I promise. Actually, access bodybuilder, ex-governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. They make the Terminator. I think when I say AI, I mean actually sapient intelligence, not algorithms. Perhaps I'm not really defining myself properly. I mean actual artificial intelligence, not this fancy algorithm we have now. I mean like an actual artificial intelligence that can think and be useful. That's what I'm on about. Personally. But I don't see that kind of thing coming about for a very long time. So I don't think there's much to fear in regards to that. I think none of us are going to see that come about. I'll be honest, I could honestly see other kinds of advancements coming out sooner. Most likely. I mean, I did hear something about NASA wanting to go to Venus, I think, because of, like, as weird as it sounds, that fiery hellscape of a planet has, like, a space in between two bits of its layers that are actually habitable. Like a nice 30 degrees. Like penis, bruh. I mean, Scrum, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I think it will happen eventually. We just might not see it. That's the thing. There's too much resource and power being put into it. The only thing I hope for is that it is done ethically, and that if it does have its own intelligence, it is taught to use it in a good way and not the way to kill us. That is personally what I'm hoping for. But I'm not too worried about something that is nowhere near that position. No, I don't fear the future. I'm hopeful for it. I think it's just a matter of, one, I don't want to live in fear, do that enough as it is. And two, technology doesn't scare me. Because there are many good uses of technology. But I'm not a philosopher, so I'm not always good at explaining my points. I'm just a funny creator online, doing my own thing. Excuse me. I don't believe so. Also, quantum computers are their own thing, my friend, and they kind of break all the rules of computers. Trust me, I've done a lot of digging around with quantum computers because holy shit, they're weird. And break all the rules, and I then have to Then security programs to completely redone because holy shit, the hacking potential of a quantum computer. Fucking hell. Not that we can power one currently, thank God. I don't think. Come on, lad. Who, me or Scrub? No, about me, Neon, I'm just tired. I've had a long day. Oh. Had a long old day. I think my voice is probably going a little bit as well, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine, I'll probably burn it out in the next couple of days. And they can, that's the fucks part. Because it's just the sheer computing power of them. It is hypothetical. I mean, it's all hypothetical at the moment. I mean, quantum computing hasn't left the lab. Mostly because I think you need to fucking liquid nitrogen cool it, and I'll be honest, I don't think any of us are going to have a liquid nitrogen setup in our computers. Let me know if you do, by the way, that's fucking awesome. I want to see it. If you have a liquid nitrogen setup in your PC. I don't think you will, though. Lunch break is over. Catch you. No worries, Neon, thank you for joining, my friend. Always good to see you. Always good to see you, my friend. Oh. God, I'm so glad the week's nearly over, though. Holy shit. When computing becomes accessible, they should... Oh, yes. I don't think we should let anyone just have... I mean, to be fair, the cost would put most people off, my friend. Like when computers first came out, they were super expensive. I reckon quantum computing will be stupidly expensive. I mean... They have to figure out how to make it coolable without liquid nitrogen first. That shit's... You're not gonna have that shit at home. I'm pretty sure that's like a controlled substance. You can't have liquid nitrogen. I don't think. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you need a license for that shit. Well, that's the thing. It's like... It rewrites cybersecurity entirely. And that is something that is actually being worked on. You know... Most algorithms assume we're using GPUs and CPUs of now. They don't assume it's a quantum device that can... I could be wrong here, but I think it's like... It isn't 0 and 1, it's like fucking 0 to 4 or something crazy like that. It's like... Just fundamentally work differently. Though a lot of it is theoretical. But you will essentially need a quantum computer to rewrite the algorithms and security protocols we need to then deal with a quantum computer. Legitimately. You'll need that. There's probably going to be some things that aren't breakable, but most things probably aren't. But again, it literally would reset the rule set. If anything, I would suspect the first use for quantum computer would be securing networks against quantum computers. Yes, I did. That was... Yes, so... I haven't read the article, but I saw bits of it from someone at work, and... That's wild to me, that all this time later, we've figured out who the fucker was from DNA evidence from fucking ages ago. It was one of the suspects, but he kind of fell under the radar because, again, we just didn't have the technology to find people back then like that. But it's wild to me that we could pull that off now. I don't know, I guess it shows, like, there are still people looking at these cold cases. I'm never going to become a true crime creator, chat, but I do like watching a bit of true crime now and then. I mean, in that case, it'd probably be the hand. I mean, because it's a tool to be the hand in that case. Oh. Ow. Oh, just cracked my back a little bit. Ooh. Now. Oh. What time are we on? We are getting a little late on for little me. It was just a small dip. It was indeed. It was indeed, which is again wild. I mean, I guess that says with DNA, hey? DNA is a fucking resilient fucker. Last all this time. I mean, I'm sure we've preserved it quite well, all things considered, but like, I don't know. Cold cases always interest me because it's like looking back at these old cases with a new lens, new means of checking the evidence. Just, it's interesting. It's extremely interesting. Before someone asks, no, we're not going to do a React Andy on one. As tempting as it would be, if I get, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about doing those kind of things anyway. So I feel like if I did a React Andy, it'd be something relevant to something I talk about more, like Warhammer or something. Honestly, wouldn't be that many even. But it is getting a little late on now, I think. So, my dearest sinners, and everyone who's joined us tonight, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me. I know it's a little shorter stream, but you know how it is. It's Thursday. I gotta get to sleep for tomorrow. But we have a longer one tomorrow. My first Shogun 2 stream's coming, followed by more Space Marine 2, and a little more Shogun 2. It's Thursday. It is Thursday, yes. For me, anyway. I don't know what day it is for you, but it's Thursday for me. I don't think our time zones are that far apart, but it is Thursday for me. I know it's come quick, hasn't it? It's come very quick. Good lord. It's like 9:43 for me. Yeah, it's late for me. It's about 9:45 nearly for me. Yeah, I know. The time. It's crazy. Crazy. Time zones, man, I swear. They're a pain in the ass. They are a pain in the ass. Oh, but I'll have to wrap it up there. I need to sort myself out for tomorrow. But this week, I wish it was 9. It would be almost indeed. But it'll come around. It'll come around soon, man. It will. It will. Yeah. This week will be the last normal week, and then next week will be the Wild Week, where we have Monster Hunter Wilds and Dark Heresy. So it's going to be an interesting week coming up, and hopefully I will very soon be able to show you off a new outfit as well. Indeed. I'll let the ad finish first. Before I go, I won't go before the ad. I want to say goodbye properly. The ad will not stop me. You cannot stop me, Bezos, so I will say goodbye to my chat properly. I will do it properly. As soon as it down will ends. With the longest ad ever. To drag itself out, but God, I'm absolutely tired. I swear, it's so I'm watching it, that's it. So I'm literally watching the ad play by. Is this? No idea. I swear, I get some random requests on Discord randomly while I'm streaming sometimes. See, I never get that because I'm like, I don't accept friend requests from people I don't know. I literally, if I don't know someone, I won't accept it. It's just no point, especially with all the Discord scams these days. It's just not worth it. It's genuinely not worth it. Right, the ad break should be over in a second. Hopefully you'll be liberated from it. I hope. There we go. There we are. As I was saying, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Tomorrow, of course, Shogun 2. Space Marine 2. Then more Shogun 2. The following week, well, a very wild one. And hopefully, I'm not sure if it will be next week, but if it isn't, I'm hoping the weekend. I hope it'll be soon. I'll be able to do the full reveal of the new fit. But as I say, for now, I rest. So, thank you all again. I will see you all very soon. We will do a little raid, so do wish some love to whoever I raid. So, till I see you next, ta for now.